Web3.
1, 2, Web3.
1, 2, Web3. 1, 2, Web3.
1, 2, Web3.
1, 2, Web3.
1, 2, Web3.
1, 2, Web3.
1, 2, Web3. 1, 2, Web3.
1, 2, Web3.
1, 2, Web3.
1, 2, Web3.
1, 2, Web3.
1, 2, Web3.
Greetings, developers, hackathon participants, and metaverse architects. Welcome to the third live stream of today. This is the second live stream for 1.2 Web3. I'm here today with Alec and Zach of Valist, and they're going to talk to us about publishing apps and games. Now, I'm Phil, head of events for Morales, and I want to welcome both of them to the stage right now. How are you doing today, guys?
Excellent. Thank you, Phil. We're super excited.
Yeah, super
Now-
excited.
Perfect. I'm eager to get going here. Did you guys have some slides you wanted to share to get us started?
Absolutely. So I'm going to go through a quick presentation, a little demo, and then I'm going to pass it to Zach, and he's going to take it away with some more demo goodness. So yeah,
Amazing.
awesome.
All right.
Sweet. I've got my screen here. Okay, cool. We are good to go. So yes, I am Alec from Valist. I'm here with Zach, and we are building the Web3 native app store and software publishing protocol. And right now, Web3 has a big problem. We're putting tons of energy into decentralization, but then we're re-centralize everything at the distribution level by publishing our Web3 software over Web2 platforms. So, and really this affects all of Web3 from the infrastructure side, all of the protocols, all the way to the end user side from the wallets and end applications and games that we actually use. So it really is just a reliance on these older systems, Web2 systems that we just have to get away from now and build a Web3 native way to distribute software. And what are some of the issues with Web2 software distribution? Well, we've actually seen quite a lot of examples of this especially the past few weeks, but risk of compromise. So if they hack the build server, things like that. Censorship and availability risk. If a repository is taken down or a piece of software is taken down for whatever reason, both good or bad. As well as if you use their centralized payment infrastructure, they're often taking at 30+% of your hard-earned money, which is actually really crazy. Apple, Google, Steam, pretty much any Web2 distributor right now does at least a 30%. Some of them are a little lower, but it's pretty dramatic. And really, at the end of the day, they own all of your products because they have ultimate control of the distribution of the products and software. They own your users. You have no direct connection with your audience, no direct connection with your community through these Web2 platforms. And at the end of the day, once your users actually go and buy your game or app, they don't actually really own it in the first place. It's just some database in some centralized organization somewhere, and they can revoke it whenever they'd like. And we've seen examples of this in the past as well. So really, they have ultimate control at the end of the day. But it's a good thing we have the tools to solve this. So Valist is a set of tools that coordinate Web3 protocols together to make publishing software super, super easy. And so what does this look like? Well, we bring over a lot of the common features that you would normally expect from Web2 software distribution, like being able to publish your application, fetch new versions of it, and then securely update it automatically. But then we could also do cool things like DAO coordination of software. So you can imagine a DAO coming up with a new version of IPFS or Polygon or things like that. As well as you can now use software licensed NFTs as a way to replace traditional DRM systems. So instead of making a whole license key system or using one of those APIs where you're basically sending API keys over the email, and again, they're not real assets at the end of the day, we could just use the existing primitives that we've created with Web3 to replace in-app purchases, game purchases, anything like that that you would normally expect. So what can we do now that we're in Web3? Like I said, at least at first, this looks pretty familiar. So Valist has ported over common features from things like GitHub, Steam, Versal, and other publishing platforms, like the ability to publish new versions, update, and things like that, as well as both team level and project level access control. So the ability to set up account admins and project level admins, as well as being able to attach these to multi-sig to make more complex or DAO versions of access control. And then once we're ported over, you're no longer relying on a single entity for your software distribution. So Valist, the protocol, operates independently of Valist.io, the gateways. Anyone can run Valist infrastructure. You could plug it into your existing infrastructure, much like Moralis, and you can no longer rely on a single entity for your software. And then, like I said, you can directly monetize your software via non-fungible tokens. So instead of being interrogated by your app store, whether or not you can get your app in, and then having to set up bank accounts, all these sort of entities around it, really you could just create a wallet, start publishing software, and then monetize it right then and there just with your wallet. And then, of course, DAOs can coordinate software releases. You could do cool things like auto updates powered by smart contract and IPFS. And we have awesome built-in public goods funding mechanisms. So the software license NFTs that power the system have built-in protocol fee to pay for the storage and meta transactions. All of the transactions outside of software licenses are actually gasless in Valist, and that's powered by those, the protocol level revenue. So that pays for the whole protocol. And then there's an optional community treasury that basically can be used for public goods funding. So all of the developers and everyone who's publishing onto Valist and who's using the Valist protocol is building that on-chain reputation that can then be used for determining what this community treasury goes to, including existing Valist projects, indie games, indie apps, or pointing to Gitcoin grants, things like that. And how does it work? Well, like I said, it ties together a bunch of different protocols. This is a super simplified version of it, but basically it needs a decentralized storage network, decentralized smart contract network, and then Valist, the SDK, ties everything together. And the SDK is actually what the web app, CLI, GitHub Action, and all the rest of the Valist tooling is built from. So in the general flow, the SDK handles storing your software onto IPFS, archiving it onto Filecoin long-term, uses many different IPFS gateways. The Valist.io IPFS gateways are super high performance and very decentralized. So you can access any data from our IPFS pinning services from the most popular IPFS gateways like dWebLink, Cloudflare, IPFS.io, you name it. And we have a built-in CDN in front just to make it even easier. And it follows the IPFS pinning spec. So it really accomplishes the best of both worlds in terms of decentralization and performance. And then Filecoin is used to make sure that everything is stored for long time. It's duplicated across 6 different miners. And it renegotiates the deals before they expire. So it is long-term storage there. And then Polygon is what we use for the main registry for storing the Valist account names, project names, versions, everything that enforces all of the security policies, auto updates, everything like that is coordinated from there. And then the SDKs and all the Valist clients are then made aware of every version of the latest releases and can query from there. And then you can use it in a variety of different ways, sort of depending on your developer style. We have a web front end, easy drag and drop, Sapphire Launcher, which is our new desktop client and Android client. You could sort of think of this as Steam for Web3. It handles all of the wallet features, and we'll get into that in a bit. But then there's the CLI for easy Valist publishing, and then a GitHub action, as well as TypeScript and Go SDKs if you want to build auto updates and things like that. So the web looks very familiar to things like Versal or Netlify. It's an easy dashboard we'll go over in a bit that shows all of your different projects, allows you to publish new releases in an easy drag and drop form, and configure all of your accounts, everything like that from there. And then Sapphire Launcher is our cross-platform game and app launcher. It allows you to locally install any web app and game, both web and native. So Mac, Windows, Linux are supported for desktop. And we'll install it to your local IPFS node, actually, and make sure that you can run this game or app independently. And it handles all the software license NFT stuff, everything you would need as well. So this is a really cool way that if you're building a web app or a Unity game, Morales has lots of excellent SDKs for these types of projects. You can easily build and publish a Unity project for this, as well as any other web app that will appear as a native application. So this is sort of the Web3 App Store, right? And then the CLI, again, super easy way to publish in command line environments. You could generate a key. It stores everything in your device's local key store. So on Mac, that's your keychain. On Windows, it's the Windows Secret Store, I believe it's called. And then on Linux, it is your GNOME keyring. So it allows you to have a separate signing key on that machine that you can add to that project and allow it to publish to that project specifically. And here is just a simple command. Valist publish, Acme Co is the account. Next project is the project that we were publishing here, and then a version as well as the output folder. The CLI also allows you to configure multi-platform releases for Mac, Windows, Linux builds. And then the GitHub action works really well if you've already got GitHub pipelines, or if you like GitHub actions for your compute and CI/CD stuff. You can put this right at the end of your existing build pipeline. And again, same thing as the CLI. You basically create a signer key for that only has access to that project, and then it can build and publish to that account and project given a specific release and build path. And this also supports multi-platform builds. We've got lots of great examples for that as well. And then the SDKs allow you to build really cool things like auto update systems, or programmatically fetching software from the Valist registry or publishing to it, as well as it exposes some IPFS functionality like writing a file, writing a JSON object, and writing a folder to IPFS and getting a SID back super easily. Very similar to sort of the Morales SDKs as well. And you could find it at valist.io. Docs.valist.io has everything you need. I'll go over that in a second. And then we're in our Discord all the time. We'd love to help you out. If you have any questions, definitely come join the community. And then everything about Valist, from smart contracts all the way to the end user, clients, SDKs, everything is open source. So if you want to check it out or even contribute different software types, the GitHub is right there available for you. So best of luck for this hackathon. I'm going to go over a couple things on the docs, and then I'm going to pass it to Zach. I'm going to go over the docs and then over a couple CLI examples and GitHub action examples, and then I'm going to pass it to Zach. So the docs, you could find pretty much everything you need. It's very use case driven. This quick start section, a little bit about how Valist works, takes you through creating an account, what that process is like. Again, there's account level and project level access control, and this just helps you explain why, but the web app will take you through it as well interactively. And then a little bit of information about some main screens on the dashboard, Sapphire Launcher, how you can build and install that. We also will have signed builds out soon. And the CLI, how to set this up, super easy. Everything is powered by Ethereum keys and meta transactions again, so there's no need to actually have any crypto in your wallet to use any of these tools. You could just generate a fresh key and get going. And then the GitHub action, we have examples here as well. And then a few live examples. And our friends at Birdie, really great example of what it looks like to do a multi-platform build. They are an IPFS-powered messenger. Does really cool things like you can actually message people over Bluetooth and stuff. But they've configured their GitHub releases to automatically publish their Darwin, Linux, and Windows builds for their daemon. And so yeah, that's some live examples for that, as well as Next.js projects and multi-platform binary projects. So this is a really cool example for a Go project that builds to Mac, Windows, and Linux and is configured this way. Yeah, so everything you need is there. Publishing web apps, the instructions are all here. Publishing Unity apps. Oh, that needs a refresh here. There you go. Publishing Unity projects is right here. So updated examples for that, as well as publishing binaries and executables on here. So a little bit of information on the software license NFTs for token gating, but I'm going to jump to what it looks like to publish a Next.js project, as well as a multi-platform binary. So super simple. Our example projects actually has all of this as well. And these are also linked in the docs. So you'll definitely be able to find that there. But all of these have working examples for the CLI and GitHub action, as well as you can use them for the web front end examples when publishing on the website. But to jump into the Next.js project, this is just a very simple Next.js app. Actually, this is just the create next app script that you run there. And then the only thing that you need to do to configure a Next.js project, and this is also in the docs, is turning off the image optimization that Next.js does. It doesn't like that for static builds. It needs a bunch of the server-side stuff. So turning that off will enable you to do just regular static folder builds. And then basically all you need to do is run npm run build and npm run export. Export line you'll probably need to add because that doesn't come by default in their templates, but all you need to do is run next export and it will create that static output folder. And then there's multiple options from here. I could easily publish with the CLI by configuring this Next.js project's YAML file. And if I go to here, this is an example test web project. If I hit launch, you can see there's a React app. If I were to check the latest version, 0147, I'll publish 0148. And then I can just simply run Valist publish there, choose my account, make that a little bit larger here. And then that will upload this to IPFS. It will create a meta transaction. And again, the Valist protocol pays for all the transaction fees for things like this as well. And if I wanted to, I could launch the example here, and then there's our Next.js app. It is also being built live by the GitHub action. So this is what this looks like when you want to build this exact same project in the GitHub action. You simply run the install, build, and export commands in a step, and then you have the Valist publish command that has our repository secret with the Valist signer key that has access to this project, and then it creates a release called GitHub action with that output folder. So really, it should be super simple to get started with however you prefer. Another way that you could do it is via the web app. So if I do 0149, for example, I could give this a release name. If you wanted to name it like if it was a video game or something and you wanted to give it like a title, you could do so there. But otherwise, uploading it is super easy. If you just drag and drop the output folder, let me find that real quick in my example projects. My next project, I just drag that out folder and I can create the transaction there. It'll upload it. It'll ask me to do a meta transaction. I go ahead and sign that. And then, you can view the progress if you like. But again, this is powered by the protocol. It uses OpenGSN to pay for all of the gas fees. And then the protocol treasury basically determines that. And then whenever this transaction gets mined, then you'll see that new release. And then we could go ahead and launch it from there as well. So that works for all kinds of different projects. And yeah, I'm going to pass it to Zach here. But that should be a good overview of the different CLI and GitHub Action type of tooling there as well. So yeah.
Hey, thanks, Alec. Yeah, let's take a deep dive into the web app now.
Zach, if you want to share your screen, I can add it here.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Thank you. Should be good to go.
All right, here we are.
Cool beans. Okay, so this is the Valist dashboard. You can find it by going to app.valist.io. Super simple. There's really just 3 steps to kind of get started. First, you have to connect your wallet. Then you have to create an account. Then you create your first project. So I am just going to get started here and connect my MetaMask. And this is my main dashboard screen. It might look a little bit familiar to everyone. It's kind of, a Versal, Netlify kind of esque dashboard. But here you can see I have all of my projects listed out, all of my different members and keys and stuff across all of my different accounts or projects. And then even just a list of my recent activity. And so what I'm going to do here today is I am going to create a new account and project for an example Unity game. So I'm just going to start out. I'm going to go to create account. And so right off the bat, I'm just prompted for some basic info. So this is going to be the basic info about my account profile. So what I always like to do, I always like to use one of my nice PFPs. Shout out to Crypto Coven. I like to just use my Crypto Coven kind of for everything. And so the next, I have to fill out my account name. So this will be my unique namespace on Valist. And again, everything is on chain. Everything is completely decentralized. So this account name is immutable, which means that it cannot be changed. So once I set it, this is my account name forever. I'm more than welcome to create, as many accounts as I want, but I cannot change the name on this account. So I'm making a web game. So I could even just name this web game. And so you'll see that's already taken because I've already created this. But if I just add like web game 2 or something like that, now I am good to go. Next, I have my display name. A lot of platforms have display names. This just lets everybody know kind of what's going on behind the scenes with my namespace. And so I can change this. So I could name this, my name, or if this is on behalf of an organization, I could say like Cool Game Studio or something like that. And then of course I can enter my website for the account. So if I have a GitHub or, just like a personal website or a website for my game studio, like our website, valist.io, I could put that here. And then a description. So I could say in indie game dev, just to let everybody know who I am, what I'm about, or, what my organization is doing. So now we have some of the access control. So Alec talked a little bit about this, but with Valist, there is access control on 2 different levels. So you have the account level access control, or you could even think of this as like organization level access control. And then we have project level access control, which, we'll kind of get to in a minute. But here we have listed out all the basic things that our account level keys can do. And this will be really important later on when we have paid products and we have balances on those products. And we want to withdraw and stuff like that. But you'll see by default, it takes my Pelkey.eth, my MetaMask key that I have here, and is going to add that as an account admin when I create this account. But I can also add any number of other ENS or addresses, or really anything I would want here. If I have some kind of like governance system, like a DAO contract or something like that, this is where I could even put some sort of multi-sig key or something like that in here, so that if a DAO wanted to actually vote or try to sign off on what the next release would be in a more decentralized way, we can actually have DAOs and governance systems that are now able to plug directly into Valist and distribute their artifacts in a fully decentralized way. And so just for time's sake here, I'm going to skip all the creation. But if I go back to the homepage here, I have my web game account in the corner now with all of my other accounts. And I want to create a project under that account. So what I can do is I'm going to recreate this FPS project that I have here. And I can just click create project. And so this is going to now prompt me for a bunch of the basic info for my project now. So same kind of thing. I can just take I'm just going to go to my desktop here, and I have a cool app icon here. So I'm going to use that as my project image. And it's worth noting that every project, every app, every product on Valist is inherently an NFT. So when a user purchases a paid license to a piece of software, whether it's a game or any piece of software, it will actually show up in their wallet as an NFT. And so this project image, this profile image, is actually the image that will represent that game in your wallet. So there's a lot of cool stuff we can do here. And again, we support like GIFs and animated stuff and really all kinds of stuff. So we can really do some crazy stuff with these NFT-ified projects. So now just some of the basic project details. So we have a project name again. So this is actually another immutable namespace under the account level. So once again, this value cannot be changed. So once I set it, I can't change it. I can change the display name, but I can't change the unique identifier for the project name. But again, I could create any other project with a different name under my account, or really whatever I want to do. Once I set this unique identifier, it cannot be changed. So I'm just going to say FPS. So now my link to this would be webgame/FPS. Again, it flagged me that, hey, this namespace is already taken under your account or, within your organization. So I could just do the same thing. I could just add a 2, and now it is available. And so now my display name, I could just say an epic FPS game. So now I can just let everybody know when they go to my profile, this game is sick. It's the most epic FPS game ever created. Now I have a website on the project level. Again, this could be a link to the GitHub for the source code for it. It could be a link to the project website. Really, whatever you want to put in here, any web links are supported. But then we get to the really cool stuff here. So now I actually have my project type. So there are actually 3 different project types by default on Valist. There is web, native, and CLI. We are doing a web game, so we're going to go with web. But just to explain these types a little bit, so web supports really any web assets. So Gatsby, Next.js, React, anything that you can statically compile and host on a web server, static, we can upload it to IPFS. It can be hosted on Valist. So full support for any dApps, any web apps, really anything you'd want to put on there. Again, we're going to show Sapphire in a little bit. Sapphire is our native dApp and game launcher. That even has a built-in wallet. So If you upload a DApp or you upload something like that, it's a full wrapper that's a full screen launcher that would allow you to interact with your DApp. Native games or native assets of any kind. We support exes, .apps, really any, even unnamed binary executables on platforms like Linux and stuff like that. Upload them. Alec talked a little bit about, the various architectures and platforms we support. There's full mappings for that. I'll demo that in a bit. And then CLI is just, if you have just a standalone CLI binary for really anything, there's a bunch of popular CLIs that people use, NPM, Brew, any of these things. If you have like a basic CLI app, tag it with CLI, upload the artifacts for that. But so I am going to click web, and now I have some tags. So I'm making a game, and my game has NFTs. So I'm going to tag it with game and NFT. And please, 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 if you're someone out there that's following along for the hackathon, please add your tags. It's for the Valist marketplace, and just for all of the discovery features, it'll let everyone find your beautiful project that much easier. Please, please, please tag it so it shows up on the discovery. Tag it so it shows up in the categories. Please add your tags. And then we even support custom tags. So even if you have a custom tag, you can just type it in here and kind of add it. Cool. So the next thing we're gonna see is the description page. So on Valist, there is also two types of descriptions. So you have a short description, and this is what somebody sees when they're searching for your project, or they see just a quick pop-up about it, somewhere like a website rendering or something like that. Anywhere where it's just like a quick preview, you're going to see the short description. So again, I could just say an epic FPS game or something like that. But then the long description is actually a fully featured description. This is actually like Markdown compliant. So I can type any Markdown in here, a cool Markdown heading for my game, something like that. And, I could put like some subheadings, subheading 1, subheading 2. And then I could even put things like bullet points or URLs or images, videos. You can put whatever you want in the Markdown description. Again, please, 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 if you're a hackathon competitor, please put your readme.md. If you have like a GitHub and you already have a README, copy and paste it in here. It's going to make your profile on Valist look so good. So then we have members again. So now this is the access control on the project level. So these members on the project level can add or remove other members, update basic project info, or publish new releases. So this is where if you have CI/CD or some one-off development that you want to cross-check against other things or something like that, you could put your CI/CD build key on the organization at the project level here. Same type of thing. Like if you have some governance system, even on this level, you could add a DAO smart contract. You could really add any kind of multi-sig wallet or address here. It's really up to you how you want to configure it. It's just created in a way that allows for, the maximum amount of configurability. We're not opinionated about this at all, but by default, I'm just going to use my pelkey.eth for the account admin key there as well. So I don't have to actually put a project admin. So continuing on, Valist also supports YouTube links. So if you put a YouTube link here, it'll show up on your Valist profile. We even support like live stream YouTube links, some really cool stuff that you can put in there. I don't have a YouTube link right now, so I'm kind of just going to skip that. But I do have a header image. So I'm going to add my main header image here. The main header images, again, are used on the discovery page so that when you're going through various parts of the marketplace or people are searching for your app and kind of discovering it, there are certain parts where your main header image will show up. And then screenshots, everybody needs screenshots of their software. So for me, I have a couple screenshots here of this example Unity game. Here is my portal to the metaverse that I am about to publish. So let me just tag 2 of these screenshots. And same thing. I'm just going to say it again. Please, if you're following along, if you're a hacker that's hacking out there and you're applying for any sort of Valist prizes or anything like that, please upload your screenshots. It's going to make your profile look so good. It's really going to help you get your Web3 project out there. Please upload your screenshots. So this is it. This is the whole process of creating a account and project on Valist. So again, just for time, I'm going to skip this transaction. But if I go back here, I actually have my FPS profile loaded up now. And so it'll look something like this, where here's my Pelkey.eth as the member, a little bit of activity just with me creating it. Here are my screenshots that I can browse. And then a bit of markdown just about my project. And you'll see that I already published a version here, but I'm going to dive into that in a bit. But real quick, let's just take a quick look at this settings page again. So very similar to, when we were filling it out the first time. But again, you'll see this project name is now darkened out. We cannot click it. It is immutable. I cannot change it. But I can customize all my tags. I can customize my project type again. If for some reason I would have to change that, all of my descriptions, my member stuff, I can add new members, or I can update any of my media on here. And so settings button right there, if you're looking for the settings, but you'll notice there's actually another button right next to this. And if I click that, this will actually take me to the project pricing page for this. And so kind of like I talked a little bit about, every project, app, product on Valist is an NFT, which means that we can do native on-chain DRM. So whether I want to license a game and just have a license key where I need to log in with a license key to that game before the user can play it, they need to purchase the license. I can do that. Or whether I even want to do in-app purchase items, like inventory items, like a certain kind of skin in the game, a certain kind of asset, or like a magical item, really anything. I can do that, and I can natively have those NFTs in my game and token gating certain aspects of that game. So the first page here that we're kind of going to take a look at is the max license limit. And so by default, this is 0. And so this just means that if I have this game listed for sale, if there's a price on it, users can mint as many licenses as they want. So as many people as I want can purchase licenses for it. But if I wanted to make this like a limited edition, like, I only want to release, I'm trying to build FOMO or hype or something. And, or maybe my server can only hold a certain number of users to begin with. I could actually gate this to where, only the first 500 people could mint a license for my game. And then I could always increase that in the future. And then for aftermarket sales, Valist is actually even fully compliant with any of the royalty standards. So now if a user wants to, they finish playing my game and they want to resell that license so that somebody else can now play that game, especially if it's a limited edition copy of the game, I can now set a royalty percent and a royalty address that will pay me out those royalties on those aftermarket sales. So definitely check that out, fully compliant with all the royalty standards. And then lastly, oh, and sorry, one other thing I do want to mention here, is that with that and with the pricing, I can actually add any number of currencies. So Valist supports any ERC20 tokens that are on Polygon. We have a couple defaults here. A lot of people like stable coins like USDC, that type of thing. But I can even add multiple currencies if I want to accept payment across any different currencies. So if I want USDC, I can have USDC. But then if I also want to accept just payment in native Polygon, I can add that as well. And so then on the withdrawal page here, any of the account admins can then withdraw any of these funds across any of these ERC20 tokens. And then I even have the ability to set in a recipient address so that these users, I can then send that to, any address that I would like. So now, the most important thing, publishing. So I actually have this example Unity game here, just with like a basic player and a portal to the metaverse. If you want to know what the portal does, you have to run the game and jump through it on the demo. But I'm going to take this game and build it statically for web using WebGL. And then I'm going to publish it on Valist. So that the way this is done is I'm going to navigate to my project here. And then Alec actually demoed this a bit, but I'm able to click new release. I have my previous release version listed here, 0.0.1. So I could do 0.0.2. And then I could set a display name. This is just like a short description of the release. So I could just even say Unity game. And then if I want an extended description, I could just put the long description here. And now I have an easy drag and drop to where I can drag and drop my Unity files. So I'm going to take these files. I am just going to drag and drop them. Oh, sorry, bit of trouble with my mouse there. And now I can see all of this game data within the file view here. Again, I'm just going to kind of skip on the creation here, but upon creating this, all of the files will be pinned to IPFS and redundantly backed up on Filecoin across multiple nodes. If I want to, I can even configure my own local IPFS so that I can even seed a copy of all of these game assets and files just to make sure that they are always, available on the network. But we as Valist also really help take care of that for you. But that's the magic of IPFS, is that if I want to redundantly back this with as many nodes as I can completely do that. So looking back at this version here, now if I click launch, it will fully launch my Web3 Unity game. And so here's my player in my virtual environment with my portal, and I can kind of jump around and mess around in there. Now, another quick thing I do just want to showcase really quick is that what if I took this Unity game and I actually built it for Windows, Mac, Linux? So I could actually open this up and I could switch it from WebGL to Windows, Mac, Linux here. And then I could do a binary build where Windows, it'll give me an exe, Mac, it'll give me a .app, and then Linux, it'll just give me a binary. What if I wanted to natively publish my game to be able to launch it, just like Steam, or download it from a website kind of like Itch? Well, I can compile my game and then do a multi-platform build. And so just to show a bit what that looks like, if I actually go to release on my example native multi-platform build here, I'm just going to enter a bunch of random stuff here. And then this is actually what the form looks like for that. So now if I'm a game developer and I'm releasing a native game for, native platforms, I don't want it to just be in the browser. I can actually take my game artifacts for each of these platforms and upload them super easy right here. And so then anybody that then goes to download or install these, whether it's via the Valist CLI or the upcoming Sapphire desktop launcher, the different clients will be able to natively resolve each of these. And so then just as a final thing, sorry, I know a little short on time here, I think, but this is the Valist Sapphire launcher. And so this is a full native game launcher based on Electron. We're on every platform. So iOS, Android, Mac, Windows, Linux, you name it, it's there. Manage your NFT game library and launch and install native games across every platform. So if I actually show you a bit of the discovery page here, sorry about the scroll bars here. This is a bit of an alpha build. Not sure what's going on there. But to show you the discovery page here, these are a couple of the Valist ecosystem partners and a few of our previous hackathon winners here. So one of the games I really like, Shattered Realms. If I launch that, you'll see it actually launches Shattered Realms, which is a web game in a full screen desktop launcher. And so then we also support any native games or anything like that, and it will natively launch them, install them to my library, and then cache them on any local IPFS node or anything like that that I have. But you'll see even a DApp here, Papers, really awesome project, storing academic research papers on IPFS. You'll see this DApp launches. It's fully working. So really cool. If you have a DApp, if you have a game, if you have a native application, really anything, please, please, please submit for the Valist Prize. We would love to get you on there. And yeah, the Sapphire is coming out soon. Going to have full IPFS node, full wallet support. Yeah. I guess I'll just pass it back to Alec if you have anything else you'd like to demo or yeah.
Awesome. Amazing stuff, Zach. That's super cool. And yeah, that is about it for us. We had a question in the chat that we answered in the chat, but just wanted to bring it up here as well. Yes, perfect. Awesome. Edgar had asked if Valist can actually assign a wallet to the user automatically without the need for the user creating it themselves. So the answer is yes. We actually support magic email login, passwordless email login. So as an alternative to MetaMask or Rainbow or Wallet Connect, you could just type in your email. It'll send you a link. You click it and you can log in. So easy onboarding there and no need to worry about key management from there. But yeah, I think that is about it. And yeah, thank you for all the love in the chat. We definitely are feeling the love. Thank you, community. Definitely, we're looking forward to seeing what you build. And again, that discovery page, we'd love to see you on there. So please add screenshots like Zach said. It'll make it look really cool for that discovery page. And we're doing all kinds of things to promote some of the dApps and games that are being published on the platform as well. And like we talked about with the whole community treasury stuff, definitely come help us build on-chain reputation for public goods funding and indie game development and things like that. So that's all.
Are you guys going to be available in GatherTown for meet and greets afterwards?
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Yeah, okay. So let me share my screen here real quick. If you're tuning in right now and you have not yet joined us in GatherTown, click on the link below the video right now. Make your character and join. It's free for everybody in the hackathon to join. You'll be able to get right in. And I'm going to invite Alec and Zach over to our auditorium here to take some Q&A over at the podiums in case anybody has additional question and answer. After that, we're going to kind of move over to this meeting area here and just hang out for a little while longer. anybody who's participating in 1.2 Web3 is welcome to hang out in this space as much as you like. That's what it's here for. So see everybody there in a little bit. We'll take maybe 15-minute intermission before that. And thank you to Valist and Alec and Zach for your time here today. Awesome stuff, guys. Can't wait to get building with your tech.
Thanks so much.
Thank you, Phil, and thank you, Morales and Filecoin. Have fun, everyone. See you
Good
soon.
luck, everyone.